In this video, I'm going to build a welcome series email flow in under 30 minutes using AI. I'm going to create it for a noodle brand called Gotchi, which is made by Ramen CEO on Instagram. And I'm going to cover the full process from copywriting to design to building in Klaviyo so that you can copy this full process and make a welcome series email flow of your business. So let's get into it. So this is the brand we're going to make the welcome series for, and it is made by this guy on Instagram, Ramen CEO. He recently did a collaboration with Simon Beard, who's the guy who made Culture Kings, and he's attracted quite a bit of followers. He's got about 20K followers. He's gone viral a couple times. He gets thousands of views. The first part of the welcome series is coming up with an offer that's going to help attract the buyers in his audience to sign up to his list. And this is something that's really important because he does get a lot of views, but a lot of them are a younger male demographic. Like some of the kids here, when he puts together these run clubs, people that are still in school. And while a lot of these people might be fans of his content and engage and like what he puts out, there's a big portion of those people that are not ever going to be in the market to buy his product. Now, for a guy like this, he could be tempted to grow his email database very quickly by doing something like a free giveaway, where you put in your email address and you go into a draw to get a free pack of Gotchi and he hand delivers it to you. But that's not a very good idea because it's going to attract a lot of people onto his database that never have any intention to purchase. So what I'd recommend for these guys is to add a pop-up onto their website where they offer some kind of incentive that would only be attractive to people who have an intention to purchase. That could be something as simple as, hey, here's 10% off your first order, or get $5 off your first order, or get free shipping off your first order, etc. If he had some merch like hats or t-shirts, maybe he could offer people to sign up and add in a free t-shirt on your first order. That's probably something really cool for him because he could get t-shirts on bulk and pay probably like $5 per t-shirt in terms of the cost. And his fans would love it because he's going big on viral, people would want to get around the mission, etc. For the sake of the welcome series that we make for this video, we will assume a 10% discount because that's just more universally applicable for most businesses. And he's also probably going to be able to do that. Now, I'm not actually going to go through the setup of the pop-up because I have another video on that, which you can watch. So let's go to the first stage of the welcome series. So the first step of making a welcome series is actually figuring out what to say in the email or figuring out the copywriting of the email. And good copywriting is basically just writing that persuades the reader really well to take a specific action. So to do that, it's really three things that we need. Number one, we just need to understand our brand and our products. What is it that Gotchi brings to the table that is unique? Then it's understanding the customer, like what's their desires or what's their pains. And the third thing is just understanding what's their goal. So these are all going to be inputs that we give to AI so that it can create really good welcome series copy. So to understand the brand and the products, all we're going to do is actually just look at his Instagram. He's very active. He posts a lot. He has a ton of information on his Instagram where he actually just talks about his mission and what he's trying to do. And we can click through here.
How I'm trying to fix a $60 billion industry from my bedroom. But why? Because cup noodles are one of the most consumed junk foods in the world. More than Macca's, KFC, and Burger King combined. And these giant brands have done chat shit about it for decades. Which is why you probably haven't eaten them since high school or when you were broke at uni. But I gym, run, and still love cup noodles. So I decided to launch something better. A cup noodle you don't have to feel guilty about eating, but also one that competes with protein shakes and protein bars. Because I'm sick of all the sweet, pizzy flavored shit.
It's an awesome story. So the way we're going to actually do this is we're just going to grab the transcript of these videos since he puts the story up there. I'm going to use Whisper Flow. So I'm going to turn on Whisper Flow and then I'm going to play his video out loud so that it transcribes him. So Whisper Flow. There we go. I can't believe that worked. So transcript of 2 videos. The next thing we need is to know about the customer. So about the customer. And in copywriting, the easiest way to learn about your customer is to look at where they tell you what they're thinking, and that's in your reviews. So thankfully, on his website, he has a ton of reviews, people saying nice things about his product. Like these are all people who love it, they're explaining how they use it, what they enjoy about it. And this is a really good insight into just what people are thinking. So all we're gonna do is copy all of these reviews and add them to our doc. So I'm just going to show more until we get everyone. I can probably do that by zooming out and show more reviews. And I'm actually going to open all of these FAQs just to get as much information as we can about his brand. So now that I've opened all the reviews up, I'm going to open all the FAQs, and then I'm going to use this tool called Go Full Page to screenshot everything on the website. And then I'm going to use this to download as a JPEG. So if we just have a look at this. So now we've got reviews and we've got information about the website because we've basically screenshotted everything on his site, including all the frequently asked questions. So the way I'm going to get that information to the doc is I'm actually going to go to Claude and I'm just going to drag these images in and ask it to transcribe everything in here when it uploads. It's 1 and 2. Transcribe the content of both of these images. And we'll give it a sec and just let it work. Now I am using Opus for this. You don't need to. I think it's a pretty straightforward task. You can probably use a model like Sonnet or Haiku because this is pretty basic, but I'm on the max plan, so I don't really think about what model I'm using. But yeah, it is a consideration if you do get hit by usage limits all the time. Beautiful. So this is done. I'm literally just going to paste that into this doc. And then the last thing we need for the copywriting is the goals. So what we're going to choose is our $10 call to action. Get 10% off your first order. There we go. And that's it. So now that the copywriting is done, the next part of making a welcome series is the design. And the way we come up with a design that's good is we actually study what other brands are doing that's really well. But we don't just look at any old email. We have 3 criteria that we must have when we are selecting brands to take inspo from. Quick pause before we continue. This whole process so far is just a matter of copying what other people are doing. So if you want to create a welcome series email flow that is made uniquely for your brand, which doesn't involve copying, we've actually helped over 100 brands build a welcome series email sequence, and we can make one for you that is made custom and uniquely for your business. You can click the link in the description to learn more. And that is this, the rules of conversion of email design. That is, number 1, emails must have a headline and a call to action visible above the fold. They must also be mobile optimized, and they must be skimmable. Now, you have to have a headline and call to action above the fold because most people open emails on their phone, and when they open the email, you just want them to be able to see the point of the email and a button so that they can just click through without really thinking. When people see a button on a phone, they don't really think. There's an autopilot response that most people have to just tap on that button, and every email must have a button on the top because we want people to just tap that button and go to wherever it leads us and just scroll through the website without really realizing how they got there. That's the goal of every single email. So we follow that for every single email we design. Mobile optimized, again, because most emails are open on a mobile phone and we need to be readable on phone. And skimmable, because if people go past the headline and call to action, people don't like reading big paragraphs. We want the information to be spread out so that they actually take in that information. So how do we find other emails? Now, the best way is using an app called Panorama. This is the only email database that I've seen that can actually pull flow information. There's other tools like Mild, which you can use that are free, but they don't let you see welcome series information. This one, for example, you can see these brands and you can click on flows to see what flow emails they have. The only problem is it costs $99 a month if you do want to sign up for it. So what we're going to do for the purpose of this video to keep it as cheap as possible is just sign up to the list of some brands that we think are cool and just download their emails based on what they sent to us. Now, the welcome series, of course, is the first set of emails that people send out. So it might take a couple of days for you to just wait and get the full welcome series, but once you have it, you can pretty much just screenshot it and use that for inspo. The brands that I want to use are these ones. So I have this email address over here where I just sign up to the newsletter of every brand that I come across. I'm just going to go in here and search up welcome 10%, and there's going to be a bunch of emails by different companies that we've signed up to the discount code for. I don't really like this one. This one's okay. This looks like the best one, this dog brand. So what we're looking for is those three things: a headline and a call to action above the fold. We want it to be mobile optimized, and we want the email to be skimmable. And that's exactly what this email is. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use the Go Full Page Chrome extension to download this full email. And we're gonna download this as a JPEG, and we're gonna go to the next email and download the next email of the welcome series. Awesome. And then we're gonna do that for every single email of the welcome series that they send. Once we do that, we're gonna go into a image editing app. I'm gonna use Figma because that's just what I'm most comfortable with. And we're gonna drag in all of the emails that we got. And we're gonna put them side by side and crop them so it's just the emails. So you can click on the email to do that, click crop, and then just move the bottom left rectangle to go here, and then the bottom right rectangle to crop here. Once you do that, you're gonna have all of the emails side by side like this, and then we're just going to download this frame as a JPEG. What I think is really good is getting a few brands that you think have good emails and downloading all of the emails. So this is another brand, Hiro, which I think is really cool. I'm gonna download their emails as well. And what I'm gonna do is go into Claude. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna give you 2 examples of welcome series email flows that other brands have sent. I want you to use this to create a 5 email welcome series template that I can use to create copy for my brand. And I'm gonna put the link of Gotchi here and say, do not fill in the template with my brand, just create the template with space to plug and play. And then I'm gonna upload the examples of emails and let it kind of work. And then this is the welcome series template that it gives us. So now we're building the tools that we need. And then to write the full copy of the welcome series, right before we design, I'm gonna use this prompt. I'm gonna say, hey, I wanna write a welcome email for this brand. I'm gonna put the link of Gotchi's product page. The first email offer should be, you've unlocked 10% off. I want the copy to be written in a way that makes sense for this brand. This is the standard welcome series template of other high performing brands. Use this to write up the copy. Come up with the copy for Gotchi. Your output needs to be the copy that I can use in the welcome flow. I've attached some more context for the brand. And the context for the brand is just gonna be this, which we're gonna paste in. And it's going to be this 5 welcome series email template, which I'm gonna paste in as well. And then all we're gonna do is press go and let it cook. Now, ideally for this one, you have it at the highest model. It's really important. And you give it as much compute as you can so that it can really think through everything you've given it and come up with some personalized copy. So now that we have the welcome series copy, we got to get to actually designing. We're gonna click design over here. Open design in a new tab. I'm gonna go Gotchi ramen emails. So now that we're in Claude Design, we're gonna paste in the welcome series copy from here. I'm gonna say, I would like you to design a welcome series for this brand, Gotchi. So put in the link, Gotchi ramen. I have given you the copywriting. Here is the brands that we have taken inspiration from. I want the layout of the emails to be similar to these brands which we have taken inspiration from. And I'm actually going to give the Hiro and the dog brand emails. So just drag those 2 in, give it a sec to upload. Looks like it's done. And then what else I'm gonna do is just actually take another screenshot of the site, but take a light screenshot. I'm not gonna open up all the FAQs. I'm just gonna make it as easy as possible for it to see all this stuff. And I'm just gonna drag that screen capture in and say, I have also given you a screenshot of what the website looks like so you can, the emails match those brand guidelines. There we go. And then we're just gonna make sure this is on Opus 4.8 and then click send. and let it cook. Also, I might just give it the product page as well. And say, here's another site where you can grab assets from. So this is the kind of thing where you just give it the prompt, let it cook, and then go do something else while it cooks. And here we go. This is the first look at the emails, and it looks okay. It's repeating quite a few images, but I think that's more just a function of them not having that much photography. I could probably replace some of this with images from his Instagram, but overall this is okay. Like, there's a headline, call to action, looks like it spreads out some of the info. The text is a little bit small. Maybe I'd want to make that bigger, but as a first look, I'm actually quite happy about it. Could it be better? Definitely. Could it be worse? Absolutely, it could be worse. This is very good for a business that doesn't even have a welcome series right now. So, like I said, this isn't perfect, so we can make changes. There's a few ways that we can do that. We can just go to comments over here. We can, let's say, pick sections. If we want to change this, we can say, hey, change the copy here so it's XYZ, or we can say, make these icons bigger. And we can batch all of these comments together as we do it, so that, you know, we send them all and then Claude will go ahead and fix those things. That's one way of changing it. Another way is we actually just export it to a standalone HTML, and then we can import it into Figma so that we can make edits to the emails inside of our design app. So we're just going to let it save as a standalone. It's going to take some time. So I'm going to download this. And then I'm going to go into Figma, and I'm going to go into the plugins. I'm going to get this plugin called HTML to Design. If you don't have it already, you can just go to Google and type in HTML to Design plugin Figma. And then it comes up over here, and you just install this into your Figma so that you can use it. And it comes up over here, you go to File, and then you just drag in the HTML file that we got, and then proceed, import completed. There we go. The only issue is that this does this weird thing where it just uploads it into this container. So all we got to do is just drag all the emails out of the container. We just make these smaller until we get... And here we go. All of our emails are in Figma now, and we can actually zoom in and we can make changes here. So we can change the code from welcome 10 to whatever we want it to be. We can change this image. We can move the stuff around. We can change the copy. We can change the logo, make it bigger. We could potentially, you know, move this up and then set it so that the text is on top. If we want to have a hero image, and then put a picture of, you know, put the text on top of the image, for example. But this looks fine for now. I think like maybe some of this stuff is a little small and we want to make it a little bit bigger. We just ungroup it. But yeah, that is how we make a welcome series inside of Claude. So now the next step is to just put this into Klaviyo. So I'm just getting into our Klaviyo test account, and the way that we would upload this into Klaviyo is we go to Flows, we go to Create Flow, we would select, type in here Welcome, and here we go. And we click this one, Welcome Series Customer v Non-Customer, use Template, and then just for the sake of this, we would delete the conditional split and just have it as email 1, and delay by 1 day, email 2, add a time delay for 1 day, duplicate this, move that over here, add a time delay, make that 1 day or 2 days, depending on your preference. I don't want to go too much into strategy in this video because I do have another video on welcome series strategy, but generally you want the gap to increase. So day 1 gap as 1 day, and then maybe this can be 1 day, and then you can start to maybe make this 2 days and then 2 days. Increase the gap the longer out we go. And then once we create these emails, we just go to edit over here. Once we select an email, and we upload all of the emails as image slices. And you can do that by clicking this frame over here and then clicking slice, or you can just press S and then you just drag a slice on top of the email. And we just want to drag this to the top, drag this so it locks in, and then we can see slice over there. So we duplicate that and then drag it down. Maybe move that over there and then duplicate it, and then move this over here and then duplicate it, drag this over here, duplicate, and then duplicate one more time and then put that over there. And then we just select all of these slices. We click export as a PNG or JPEG, whatever you prefer. I actually prefer JPEG just because it's a bit more compressed. And then once we're in here, we just delete this section, add in an image slice, delete that. And then we go select image, upload, select, and then we just import all of the slices and we go upload all. And then we just upload it in order. So layer 1, and then we clone this. And then we just delete the rest. And what you want to do is hyperlink this to the claim my 10% off, link this to the product page, and then anywhere where there's a call to action, you just want to link it to a product page. So yeah, now this welcome series is inside Klaviyo. You can turn this on and make it live. Best practice is to actually add alternative text because that helps Gmail and Yahoo know that this is not just a link. It is an image for promotional email with text in there. And I guess for deliverability, you need to make sure that these files are as small as possible. So Klaviyo already compresses them and makes it as small as possible so it loads quickly and it's good for deliverability. So those are the two best practices when sending emails that are image based. And that's it. Once we go preview and test I should say, and we go done. And once that's done, we can just turn it live by clicking here and turning live. And now, if we have our pop-up live, people will get this email for their first welcome series. So that's how you create a welcome series email sequence using AI. As you could probably tell, the entire process just involved copying what other people have done and then putting our own spin on it. But if you want to build something from scratch, AI is not really going to help you that much. So for that reason, we have an agency. We've helped over 100 e-commerce brands around the world with their email marketing, and we understand email marketing from a fundamental first principles point of view so that we can make something unique for your business. So if you run a 7 or 8 figure e-commerce brand and you want to make a welcome series sequence that's actually unique for your business, you can click the link in the description to book in a call directly with me and see if we can help. Otherwise, the power of your welcome series is completely dependent on the power of your pop-ups. So I really recommend you go ahead and watch my pop-up video next after this.